Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanna go with you over the financial results from British American Tobacco. This is my biggest position. It makes around 10% of my portfolio, so I am tracking this really closely, but today I wanna give you just some brief overview, and if you wanna have a deep dive on this company, then just let me know in the comments. This is not a financial advice. Please always do your own research before investing in anything, and keep in mind I'm just a retail investor and not a financial professional. So let's have a look on the numbers. Although they have some revenue decline, 5% year over year, they could still manage to have 1.3% of organic growth. Profit from operation was 2.7 billion compared to last year loss, but they are now depreciating their goodwill. So basically they are saying that their brands, what they own, are worth less from now each year. And they had also put money on side for Canadian settlement, which we will go over later. The most important metric for me is free cash flow, which is 7.8 billion, and they are expected to exceed 8 billion annually from now onwards. Another important metric on the company like this is a cash conversion, which is 101%, which is exceeding their 90% target. So very good here. They are continuing the deleveraging. Their debt to EBITDA is 2.4%. Their goal is keep it between 2 and 2.5% by 2026, so they are already meeting their goal. Altogether they managed to decrease their debt by 7% year over year. Most of their debt is in fixed rate, and it's a low rate, and have around 10% to 10 years to maturity. So I don't see problem there, because they have also a stable revenues and free cash flow, so they can afford it. They have a good dividend yield between 8 and 9%, depends on the stock price movement. Dividend payout ratio is around 66% of earnings, which is aligned with their target. This year it's estimated that they will pay 5.4 billion in the dividend, but with their almost 8 billion free cash flow they can easily afford this, and on the top they will give us around 90 million share buybacks, which will make some upwards pressure on the stock price, which I find good. Smokeless products in the new category are growing as expected and are now making 17% of their total revenue. It's a big growth here, but it's not even the quarter of revenue. This we should keep in mind. Another big player in this segment is Philip Morris, and the other companies like Altria. I think they are losing this race, but I'm happy to own British American Tobacco if they are behind the Philip Morris, just a slight little bit. Yeah, so everything good there. Risks, what they are pointed out, they have this settlement with Canada, so they will need to pay 32 billion of Canadian dollars, which is around I don't know how much in pounds, but they set aside 6.2 billion from their earnings. That's why the earnings looks like they are only 2.4 billions. And they will pay, if this settlement get approved by a court, these 6.2 billions this year. It's one-time payment, and then the rest of this sum they will pay in the next years from the Canada's earnings. So this will be 85% from the next year's earnings, 80% from by 2031, and 75% in 2036. So the most of Canadian business will go for these payments. I brought here some overview of cases like this. So it's definitely not the biggest case, but it's big. So basically, the court said that they failed to inform the smokers that the consumption of the tobacco can have some health risks. Surprise, surprise. And litigations like this remain as a high risks. In the future they can come more of this, so you should keep this in mind if you're investing in company like this. The cigarettes volume worldwide are declining, not just by British American Tobacco, but overall. But it's worth notice that tobacco consumption stays same. So when the people switch to the smokeless products, of course they don't smoke the cigarettes anymore, and cigarettes volumes declined. And customers are also switching to the discount brands of the cigarettes. And so this is affecting the premium cigarettes volume, like Lucky Strike, Marlboro, Dunhill, and so on. Australia hiked cigarette tax for the 5% already 30 years in a row, which is leading to the consumption of the illegal cigarettes, or from the cigarettes from the black market. And in Bangladesh, the tobacco tax increased 67%, which is seriously impacting of affordability of cigarettes in this country. And the US and Canada, US is their most important market, bans some flavors in the vapes. Yeah, so this was the highlights or the main points from this earnings release. So to sum this up, they have a very good dividend yield between 8 and 9%, depending on the stock price fluctuations, and it is well supported by cash flow. It's a defensive stock. It's recession proof. The new categories are growing, and they are progressing with their debt reduction as they planned. And on the top, they gave us some share buybacks. And I forgot to mention, they will hike the dividend for the they will hike the dividend 2% this year again. The risks associated with investigating in this company are the legal and regulatory risk, as we saw now in Canada, declining cigarette sales, especially in the Western countries, where they also have the biggest margins, and slower growth in the new categories. The Philip Morris have a better growth as British American Tobacco, but there are also some other companies who even slower. So this is okay for me, but it's worth a mention. And the stock price is underperforming. So to give you my conclusion or my plans, as I mentioned, this is my biggest position. It's 10% of my portfolio. I am a happy shareholder, but already before the US election, I thought maybe it's not the best idea to have as much money in industry where the politicians have such a big impact, and many politicians really hate this tobacco industry and are able to make some big damage. So this is a concern, and I think the US is the most important market for them. So now the next 4 years with the Trump administration will be the good time to sell like half of this position, or maybe all of it. I will see. I am not in rush with this sale. I think because there's now some turmoil on the markets, and this can make the BAT stock grow. So I'm not in the rush with this, but I consider this as a risk, and I want to sell it. Altogether, I am now 16% up with my position, and I enjoy very good dividends. So I hope you like this video. If yes, please give me a thumbs up, and remember, this is not a financial advice. See you!